honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim, doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Let's get into something real quick on this camp lesson. Last week I missed out here because rain and whatever the fuck, but hey, gotta do the work, man. Can't be doing the work of the Lord deceitfully, and you gotta get your sword wet, okay? Actually, you know what? Let's start off with that. Let's start off with that real quick. Because this lesson is going into what?
Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah.
And I was in that too, like, I think, 5 years ago, bro.
Well, cursed be to you.
Why?
Yeah, because you left.
That's why, it's hard.
Hey, no, you're supposed to continue on to the end. You can't just come in and get the secrets and leave. No, brother, you got to do it on to the end. The Lord said, hey, blessed is that servant that I shall find so doing when I return. You're not doing. No, brother, you're a curse. You're a curse. May Abba Shem Yahshai curse you. Go on. No, you don't love me, because if you did, you'd keep the word. How kind of fraudulent police business this harass guy? Yeah, you hear this guy? This guy said that he used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Damn, I should have asked him which fucking camp that he was a part of, man. This guy said he used to be, he left. Well, that's your fault. You're supposed to continue on to the end. Okay? Fucking guy, yo. But that's all right, though, because this lesson is about that. The separation between the fake and the real, okay? And that curse right there was a fake. He probably came in on the IUIC. Brother, you a Hebrew Israelite? I left. So what the fuck you telling me that for, man? You might as well just keep going because you're a curse. And in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you're going to be destroyed with the rest of the 2/3, man. You knew who you were, but then all of a sudden you ran away. Get the fuck out of here, man. See, the Lord ain't playing with punks like that, man. The Lord requires us to be men and come out here on these highways and byways and speak what we got to speak. Bottom line. Where was I want to get? Jeremiah. Slack here. Let me see if I find it on my phone here. Let me see here. Cursed is he that do the work of the Lord deceitfully, man. I remember it's in Jeremiah. Jeremiah. I know it's in Jeremiah 48 and 10. Okay, let's go to that real quick, because that guy, that's what he is, man. He's a false fucking prophet, just like the lesson what I'm about to go into now. That guy's a fucking false prophet, man. You came in, you couldn't hold on, and then you fell out. Hey, all praises due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, more strength unto us. Let's go into this real quick. Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. And that was him, okay? Because he didn't hold on, man. And this next part is even better. Salakia. This next part is even better. Hold up. 48 and 10. Let's go back there again. And cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. And that's that individual, man. He came into this truth, he learned who he was, he got the secrets, and then he left. You know, he left to go back into the world, to play with the monsters of the world, man. If you are hired by somebody gives you a job to do, you can't do the job halfway and then leave and say, yeah, I done a good job. No, I don't care how good of a job you did while you were there. You still got to continue on to the end. He may have been a good speaker. He may have been a brother that dived into the scriptures, you know, hardcore, as they would say, you know, studying on words and whatnot. He may have been there, but hey, you got to continue on to the end. And he kept back his sword from blood. Let's go to Ephesians real quick. Ephesians chapter 6 and 17. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh. Okay? And he was doing the work of the Lord deceitfully, man. This is why he's holding back. He got secrets. Okay? You got secrets of the Most High. but yet you holding them back, man. Hey, the money of this world blind your eyes, man, and make you go on them way there. Ain't no reason to get all super excited, but hey, yapa, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, because those type of individuals, they don't love Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They love themselves, okay? They're into the world. They love the world, right? We put off the world, man. Things that we were doing in the world and, you know, of the world and, you know, going to clubs and shit like that and, you know, hanging out with the people of the world and all that. Hey, man. Let me get into something real quick, going off of Ephesians chapter 6 and 17. Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, with the which thou shalt wound the adversary. Woo-hoo! What do you think we're doing when we're speaking out here? The adversary is getting wounded, man. In so much that they hate us being on these streets speaking. Let's get into that real quick too as well, man. Who's our adversary? Esau, Edom, okay? The Edomites. Let's get into something real quick. Where was I going? Wound thy adversary, right? Let's go into something real quick. Amos chapter 5, verse 10. Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They abhor him that speaketh brightly. This is why they hate us, because we're taking that sword and we're wounding them. We're constantly sticking them. Hebrews chapter 4 and 12. You know, this word is a discerner of the thoughts and cuts straight to the bone and marrow. All right, but that individual, he left. He said, fuck this, I'm not doing this work no more, I'm going back into the world. So he was doing the work of the Lord deceitfully, okay? But we're out here and we're slicing, taking chunks out of the enemy, all right? As a matter of fact, we know that they hate us because they've come up with a multitude of bullshit to speak on us, lies about us, you know what I mean? And we know that this word has entered into the gates of the nobles. Let's get this real quick. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, meaning curse them off, all right? That it may go into the gates of the noble. It has entered into the gates of the noble. They don't like this word. This is why they had YouTube coming at us, you know? They tried to paint a picture of us that we're some mean, violent people. Meanwhile, we're not doing anything but speaking words on the streets, right? We're not picking people up and hanging them like the KKK, but yet for some odd reason, we're being compared to the KKK, right? All a bunch of bullshit, all a bunch of lies, man. And as a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah. We're in Isaiah. Let's go to something real quick what they're trying to do with us, man. Because the scriptures don't lie. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices, devices can go into thoughts, intents, right? He devises wicked devices. He divided wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needly speak right, okay? So we know what you're about, Esau, Edom. We know you don't like this word, but we're supposed to come over here on these highways and byways and get down, man, okay? The videos can do only so, only much, okay? But being out here on the highways and byways in front of your enemies, that's even better, man. Because we're showing our face and we standing 10 toes down for what we believe in, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the true and living power. Not this JC crap that these people run around out here with. Let's go to something real quick. The true and living power. The true and living power. This is who we're serving, okay? This is why we're dedicating our life to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We're not dedicating our life to this world. There's nothing in this world. This world is dead. And all you individuals out there that want a part of it, well, you could die with it, okay? Just like that dude that was traveling, oh, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Well, now why the hell would you come here and try to tell me that? You trying to pull me into your world? I don't need your world. I'm dedicated to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I made a vow with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So there's no need for me to say, yeah, let me go join hand in hand with you. For what? What do you got to offer? Are you the Most High and His Son? No. So you got nothing to offer. Let's go to something real quick. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 10. But Yahweh is the true power. Yeah, Yahweh is the true power. Okay, not that JC crap, not these other gods of Egypt and all the rest of that shit. Those aren't the true powers, man. The true power is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? That's where the true power is. Starting with the Father and then the Son. Okay? And we were given promises by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's why I said, what is it worth to sell out and go join with you in the world? You're going to be destroyed. Here it is, you got the secrets of the Most High, and then you ran back into the world. You're going to be destroyed, man. Jeremiah chapter 10 and 10. But Yahweh is the true power. He is a living power. He's living. These other idols are nothing but death and dead. Remember in Matthew, it tells you, let me get that real quick. See what it says here in Matthew. Man, that guy pissed me off, man. Or Mark, Salakia, Mark chapter 12 and verse 27. He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living, the power of the living. He's not the power of the dead, but he's the power of the living. Ye therefore do greatly err. Okay? That's why in Jeremiah chapter 17 and 13, it tells them that they rejected the living power. Okay? The living power, not this dead fucking thing that you see inside the church where they got Adam painted naked and God painted. That's death. Okay? God don't look so-called white, and Adam definitely was not white. Okay? So-called white, because you're not white. That car is white. That door is white. Okay? This is the veil that you people love to fucking run under. I'm a white man. I'm a black man. I'm a Chinese. No, none of those things exist, you idiots. Okay? You're all fools. And you all been fooled. Alright? You're all living under a big fucking veil, man. But what are we doing? We're exposing the truth. Okay? This is called the, what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai would say, a revealing. The revealing of the truth. The truth that was hid so long. Let me see if I can get that. And this is why they mad. This is why they upset. They're saying, no, let us live in our dream. Let us live in our fantasy. Let us live in a pretend world, okay? This is exactly what they're doing. And we can see it. We're not stupid. You think we were born like y'all? Nah. Let me see something here. Man, I can't find it right here, but let me see if I can find it over here. I think it's in Ezra. It's either in Sirach. Let me see. I'll find it. Yep, here it is. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 28. For as faith, it shall flourish. All right, faith is flourishing right now, man. Romans chapter 10 and 17, right? Is flourishing right now. And it's gone throughout the whole world. Verse 18, all right? Because brothers have picked this up throughout the whole world from what? The internet. The unicorn, okay? For as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And what are we doing right now? We're declaring the truth. We're out here on these highways and byways declaring the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Looking for salvation. Looking for our salvation, man. That's why that guy, when he said what he said, I said, good for you. Go back into the fucking world, man. You know? We ain't gotta be too mad, but it is kind of irksome and it is kind of upsetting. Okay? He's one of those guys trying to, he's gonna get destroyed because he's trying to pull me out the fucking truth. Okay? Basically, trying to tell me about he was a Hebrew Israelite 5 years ago and all this shit. I'm like, nigga, I was too 5 years ago and before that. And look, I'm still here. What's your problem? But we got these individuals who come into this truth. They take this word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai not seriously, man. Remember, we took a vow onto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Defer not to pay it. Let me get that real quick. Mark chapter 5:33, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it Matthew 5 and 33? Yep. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 33. Again, ye have heard that it have been said by them of old, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shall perform unto the Lord thine oaths. Okay? And you took an oath when you came in, you took a spiritual blood oath when you came into this truth unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai without you knowing or not. This is why the brothers constantly remind people, hey, do you know what you're involved in? Can you grasp what's going on here? You know, was this something that you just heard from one of your friends? You got excited and you looked at it and you said, oh, clean looking gang culture, where you see a whole bunch of men sit together, you thinking, yeah, it's one big gang. Yeah. No, that's not what this is, man. This is holy men, okay? Being inspired by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, being awoken, okay? And they're performing their duties, they're performing their oath, man. What do you think? You could just come and steal? That's what you are, you're a thief. You came, you stole the word, you got some good breakdowns, some good lessons, you know? And then you morphed your life around it. You went and got a good job, this and that, whatever it may be. But you stole the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You can't just steal the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai like that. You got to continue on in this word, man. You can't just steal it. The Lord will destroy you for that. And that's Yapa. Hey, if you want to say you're going to come into this truth and say you're out here on these highways and byways, you were doing the work. Now all of a sudden you just dip back into the world. How does that look, man? You are a double-minded man. You're unstable. You're not safe. You're not safe to be around, man. Get away from me. But anyways, let's go back into this. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 4. When thou vowest, let me see something here real quick. Yeah, when thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it. That's what this guy is doing. This guy deferred not to pay. Okay? And that's not our fault, that's his fault. He should know the punishments that's gonna come with pulling back, okay, drawing back into the world. That perdition, drawing back onto perdition. Okay? We are not of them that draw back onto perdition, man. We do this work on to save the saving of the soul, man. Because that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is coming to do for you. That is our desire, right? Our hope that we're part of that 144. Why do you think we're out here doing this, man? Obviously, we don't like this world. You know, when the secrets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is revealed to you, you look at the world different, right? So you don't like this world now. You don't like the things that are happening in this world, okay? All things that are supposed to be in order is out of order. Women commanding men, all that type of shit. Bitch, go do your damn job. Don't be trying to command no man. But you know who's made this get like this? Esau Edom, okay? He's made it get out of hand because he doesn't go by the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He does whatever the hell he wants, right? So let's go back into this because this guy made a vow unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai and he's deferring to pay it, okay? When thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it, for he have no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. It is better that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Okay? So shut your damn mouth. You should have studied, even more. You know, you should have prayed on to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I have a feeling he was a part of IUIC or one of those groups. Because IUIC is like a fucking revolving door. Okay? IUIC is like a goddamn revolving door, man. You know? They're one of the worst groups out there, man. Okay? Leading men to destruction, man. Leading men to error. Okay? So let's go back into this. Let's get into the lesson here, because the lesson is going into the statues, the 10 toes. We in the times now. We in the times of the feet, the toes, right? False prophets can't tell the time, but the real prophets can tell the time. All right. And that guy, he was probably He wasn't part of GMS Toronto, man. He had to be part of fucking IUIC or some shit, okay? Or some kind of, he just went and did his own thing and then got disenchanted. But as we read in 2 Maccabees 15 and 16, that we got to wound the enemy with this word, man, okay? We got to do this, all right? Take some chunks out of your enemy, man. So let's go into something real quick. Let's go to Matthew. So this is the times that we're in right now. You're seeing Satan against Satan, right? Let's go to something real quick. Matthew chapter 12 and 26. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And we're seeing the crumbling of his kingdom right now. Hence we're in the toes, okay? The clay mixed with the iron, whatnot. As a matter of fact, let me see, I got it right here. My brother made a nice depiction of it. It was beautiful, man. So we in these times right now. Whoops, lucky right here. The toes, okay? We're at the last, the end. Okay, you got the head of gold, the arm, chest, breast of silver, the thigh, right, of bronze, the leg, shin part of iron, and now we're in this portion right here. The iron was the, if I'm not mistaken, those Romans, the Roman Empire, and then you had the Grecian Empire, then you had the Medo-Persian Empire, and the Babylonian Empire. That was the head of gold. So, you know, coming all the way down. So now we're in these times right now where Satan is against Satan, and a representation of that iron mixed with clay, it can't hold. Okay? It's gonna fall apart. Alright? So as a matter of fact, Salaki Hakim, let me see if I can find the photo. The brother had put it up there. And it was beautiful. I said, man, I gotta take that. Oh, here it is. Let me see if I could brighten this up. That's alright. Yeah, and the brother put, if you are smart, you'll know where we are. Okay? It's just, there's even the fucking, like, you know, when they put on the maps and like, look, this is where you at. This is, you know, some people still, I don't know where we're at. Well, there's a marker here for you to know. But yeah, as you can see, right? Same that I put up, but the way he put it up was beautiful. Okay, the way the brother put it up, because we're very, you know, we already know this one. We're very fond of this one here. But this one here is perfect. Okay, you got the Babylonian, the Medo-Persians, right? The Grecian, the iron, the Romans, right? And now we're in this time right here. The iron mixed with clay, all right? The end of this society, the end of that statue, okay? The end of what was prophesied, all right? And that's Yapa, that's beautiful, okay? You have some guys talking about another 1,000 years. Hey, Psalms 49 and 11, man. I can't believe that would come out of a Hebrew Israelite's mouth. Even if he had said like 100 years, like, you know, something, you know. But hey, as the mind thinketh, so the mouth speaketh. So he's showing his inner desires, wanting to stay in this place. Man got fucking, what is it, 100K a month or a week coming in the group, right? So I guess Hassad 20 grand, him 35, the next one this amount, that, you know how it go. And they're living comfortably. They got the Mercedes that they keep talking about, that we hate them about. We don't hate you because of no fucking Mercedes. You could have had any damn car. We just know you by your fruits, all right? So anyways, this is the difference between the real prophets and the false prophets. The real prophets can tell what time they're in because the Spirit of the Lord is working with them, okay? And on top of that, let me get into that too. So we're in that time right now where Satan is divided against himself, all right? Just like the chart was saying, Satan is divided against himself. This shit is gonna crumble. It's not gonna hold, okay? It's gonna fall apart. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And this gospel This is how we know that we're in the end too as well, right? And this is what the real prophets would be telling you. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So back then, when they were in the known world, this gospel had to come over to this continent here. Okay, it had to come over to here, where the northern kingdom was. All right. As a matter of fact, let me dive into something real quick. John chapter 10 and 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. And that's here, where the northern and the southern kingdom got together. And this is how they're hearing the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because remember, it sprung up here. Okay, it sprung up in the west, right? Ava Bivens, right? Sprung up with Ava Bivens. And then afterwards, we start to, the words start to multiply, right? The faith start to increase. That truth that was withholding from the world start to increase and grow, right? And here we are. We're in the fucking end, all right? Because the word had to come over here. Matthew chapter 24 and 14. The world had to go compass the whole world, all right? And the gospel had to be taught to what? The 10 tribes that were over here, okay? The northern kingdom had to receive this word. And slavery, prophecy had to play out, all right? So we know that, hey, we in the end of these times. Oh, let me go back to Romans chapter 10 and 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily their sound went into all the earth. What does it mean to go in all the earth? Okay? That means all land play all around the world. And how is this done? Via the internet, okay? Via this technology right here, the YouTube, the internet, right? And their words unto the ends of the world. That's it, man. And we know that we're in this time right now because this word has compassed the whole world, man. Let me go with something real quick. Matthew chapter... Let's go into something real quick. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, okay? So we're in these times at the beginning of sorrows, at the beginning of the end, okay? And the scriptures tell you that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is it that followeth. Scriptures also tell you it's better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Okay? So we at the end of this society right now. Because the word is showing us that we're in that direction. Okay? The word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is proving that we're in those end times right now, man. The MOTB? Come on, man. Yeah, let's go to something real quick. 2 Ezra chapter 9. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you do that? You look at what's written here, the tokens and signs. You know, the prophecies that the Lord told us that will happen. Okay? And you mark them, you note them. Okay? So going back into this, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee, which are written in the scriptures, right? Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is what we're telling people right now. We're seeing the tokens, we're seeing the signs. You know, you got much more people bugging out, crazy as hell, mud, out of their mind, you know? The MOTVs on the table, the Smith that blow at the cold, they got those ready. Okay? North Korea just tested, I think a couple weeks or a month ago, something that could hit these lands, okay? So we're in those times right now. We're in those times right now, okay? Everything is right there on the table. But you see, it goes by blind eyes and deaf ears, man. Because they have ears to hear, but they don't hear. They have eyes to see, but they can't fucking see, okay? So going in, tells you, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High speaketh those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, okay? For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. And this is what we're telling you. The end of this society is manifest. Everybody had their time to rule. When we go back into this sign, okay? When you go back into this sign right here, from, you know, the Babylonian Empire to the Grecian Empire, I'm just going to skip the medial because I want to prove something here. Or better yet, even down to the Roman Empire, from the Babylonian to the Roman Empire, all right? That would seem like a long time, right? But guess what? In between there, what? The Medo-Persians fell, the Babylonians fell, the Grecians fell, and eventually the Romans fell. But then they're revamped now because, hey, Satan must go out for that little season, right? He must rule for that little season. And we're in that little season right now. The Lord is not going to let this place run 1,000 years, 2,000 years, okay? With these fucking nutcase people, man. These people have no damn sense in the world, man. Okay? They love to eat their pork. They love to be on that bullshit, right? They love to hate against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're fools. They say there is no God, right? Psalms chapter 14 and 1. The Lord's not going to let this skunt go on forever. We have to go through this mud. We have to go through this dirt to appreciate what we're going to get. But 2/3, they can't see that. Like I said, they got eyes to see, but they don't see. They got ears to hear, but they deaf. They can't hear. Even verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs. And we in those times right now. Okay, we in the end. And the tokens, the prophecy that was written way before, okay, about this place is starting to pop up and manifest. Like when you make the field nice, and then you plant those seeds, you water them, and then the sun cometh, the rain cometh, the moon cometh, the sun cometh again, the rain cometh, the moon cometh, a cycle, right? It starts to come up. Just like right now we're speaking these words, right? From the time of Ava Bivens, the seeds were planted, doom, 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 doom. Even before the foundation of the world. It was all written. And now the flowers are starting to pop up. Now the flowers are starting to bloom, right? And now you're starting to see what we see. Now we're starting to see, hey man, don't toy with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is saying is true. You know, luckily not we ain't like them niggas that fell out. That guy that rolled up here. Luckily we're not like him. Because we held on to our faith. We held on to his truth. And Lord will, we're going to continue to endure on to the end, man. Okay? Because we're seeing these signs. Just like I said with that guy. How could you step away, man? How could you step away from the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Anyways, let's go into something that's active right now. I said about North Korea, right? North Korea getting their weapons and weaponry online, right? Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, meaning put off from your agriculture and focus your mind on military weaponry, okay? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So put off from your agriculture, put off from whatever you're doing and put your mind. That's what the Lord is doing, putting the spirit on them of war, okay? To build up for war. This is why the weak are saying, I am strong, okay? This is why you see you have places like China, North Korea, wherever else, okay? Thailand, all these places are becoming military strong, okay? Before they were military weak. America had to guide them. America had to do this. America had to do that. Now they don't want America. Now they're like, F America, we drunk that juice and we're done. This is why it tells you that the nations woke up and they were mad. Because they realized, hey, this man's up in every man's house. Just like Habakkuk said, this is all prophecy. And now they're all mad. Now they all want to burn her with fire. Okay? That's eventually what's going to happen. So let's go into another thing. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay? This is why we got to wound our enemies with the sword. Okay? The Lord has given us the spirit to come out here on the highways and byways, to know who we are, to know our heritage, to speak these things onto the people and let them know this is what's coming down the pipe. If you don't want to listen, you don't want to listen. So after the time of slavery, the Lord, re-entered that spirit into us to know who we are. And it came via the way of Alva Bivens, okay? And from there, it's flourishing. Like I said, the seeds were planted, the ground was raked, it was watered. Now all of a sudden we're seeing the flowers starting to bloom, okay? So let's go back into this. Oh yeah, I made mention of Alva Bivens. Let's get into that. Malachi chapter 4 verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers. These shall come and smite the earth with a curse. And that happened by Alva Bivens. The spirit was put into him. He was risen upon his feet. He came back to tell us what's going on, to guide us, okay? To give us that spirit, to guide us, okay, in the right direction, the real way of speaking the scriptures, okay? So the revealing came through him. And now look, like I said, the children, right? The flowers are sprung up, okay? And now we're out here doing what we're supposed to do. Because this is what the Lord commanded for it to be done. Psalms 147 and 15, okay? So let's go into something real quick too as well. Let's go to Revelation chapter 13. Something that Nate can't get right. Okay, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Okay, we're in those times right now. They have the MOTV. There's people going to work in a place called, I think it's in Wisconsin, that they access their whole company payroll, everything to get into the building. They access it with a microchip, with the MOTB, okay? And that's how they get inside of the building. That's how they receive their payments, right? This is all prophecy. We're speaking about this right now, and it's gonna be, a couple months or maybe even a couple years where they enforce this and they tell everybody in the world, you gotta take this. That fiat money is being manipulated. The currency is being manipulated. People are printing up fake money, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're going to use many different reasons. Oh, the money has drugs on it, this and that. It's too hard to dock. It's too hard to follow. So they're going to use multiple reasons. Oh, you can get robbed. People are being robbed nowadays, So they'll say, hey, put the MOTV in your hand. They can't take that, right? They can't use it, right? It has to be sync with their body, all right? Because, hey, when you put that into your body's going to have a certain heart rate, a certain blood type. All that chip is going to detect all of those things. So if you try to pop out somebody's chip and put it in your hand, the way technology is now, everything's becoming super smart. So it's not going to work, okay? So you're not going to be able to say, let me take your chip and no trickery. It's going to recognize, hey, there's two chip people right there trying to do some kind of fuckery, right? Anyways, that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom, let him that have understanding, that's the key point, let him that have understanding. These individuals out here, they don't have understanding, okay? Count the number of the beast, For is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 3 score and 6. And this is going into the MOTB. It's going into Karax, okay? It's going into that digital, the MOTB, that digital old, the digital old that's going to go into you, man. And wherever you go, whatever you say, whatever you do, Esau Edom is going to know. That's why we always tell you, don't take that, because that's proving that you're paying homage to this man, okay? When you take that, you're saying that he is your God, okay? You're saying that you want to be a servant of this man, all right? Basically. And the Lord is telling us, do not take that digital old. And, you know, you got the false prophets out there telling people that don't worry about it, this and that. It's a conception of this. And, you know, to hell with those guys, man. They're going to be destroyed, okay? That's why I said I have a feeling that guy was in IUIC, the Ignorant United in Christ, man. That when he pulled up and he said, I used to teach, and then he left. You're not supposed to, I used to teach, you do this on to death, okay? Yahweh Shai is going to look at you and say, man, oh, sluggard, get out of here, man. You know what I mean? Get out of here, you sluggard. You came into the truth and then you left? Anybody, if you're a baseball player, basketball player, hockey player, whatever, if you came to training camp and then all of a sudden you quit, they'd be like, this guy doesn't deserve to be on the team. He came to the training camp and then he quit. And now he wants back on the team. Now he wants this. You can't ask for no salvation. You can't ask for no prizes, man. When the Lord told us to come out here on these highways and byways and put it into the end, that's exactly what the fuck it is. Put that work into the end, man. Instead of just standing there like, yeah, I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite. No, you put that work into the end, man. Because that shows that you're a slothful individual if you don't. Your Lord and Savior gave you the goodies, man. Gave you the secrets. But yet you say, you know what? I'm gonna take these secrets. I'm gonna stash them right here. I'm gonna stash this one over here. You're doing the work of the Lord deceitfully, okay? You can't just join in like that. It's blood in, blood out. Okay? Same with these gangalangas in this world, right? It's blood in and blood out, right? Same thing with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You don't come to serve the Lord, and the next thing you know, 2 weeks later you say, goodbye, I'm out. No, you do this till you die. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. Teach till you die. Okay? You're Edomite, eh? Anyways, you're supposed to teach this word until you die, man. Until the Lord returns. That's what's supposed to be in your mindset. All right? Not that, oh, you're going to come into this, grab the secrets, stash a little bit over here, stash a little bit over there. Nah. The Lord is not happy with that. Okay? He's not well pleased with individuals like that. So let's go into the real and the fakes, all right? We got a little scripture. Little scriptures there. Well, let me put on my jacket. Boy, that's starting to get cold. Slack here. 1 second, Hakim, man. I hate when it starts getting cold on my hands like that. It's fucking like 11 degrees outside, I think. And that's how bad my my infirmities is. Sometimes even when it rains and all that stuff, my ankles, hands, and I use the herbs. They don't think I don't use the herbs. But hey, it is what it is, man. So let's get back into this real quick. Let's start out with that scripture in Jeremiah, all right? Jeremiah chapter 10 and 10, right? This is who the real prophets is dealing with, right? I'm trying to put my hand in there, trying to get some warmth, though. So let's go into this quick. Jeremiah 10 and 10. But Yahweh is the true power. I read this earlier, okay? Yahweh is the true power. Not these false gods, not the gods of the Indians or the so-called Chinese and all the rest of even the so-called white man. Okay, his God is fake. All right? Quaz. That's what he called Quaz. With that big snarls. Quaz with the snarls. Okay? But Yahweh is the true power. That's right. It tells you in Psalms chapter 96 that he's the true power. And all the rest of these powers out here are fakes. Alright? He is the living power, the living God. Alright? He's not fake. Like these other gods that Jeremiah was talking about too as well. When you go into Baruch chapter 6, which they call the letter of Jeremiah, when you go into the Baruch chapter 6, you read that Jeremiah is talking about the false gods, right? The false gods that they can't do nothing. They can't even wipe their face. They got a dagger in their hand. They can't even protect themselves. They can't take a swipe, okay? But who are we serving? We're serving the true and living power, the one that can mangle you up, all right? That's why the Lord said that he kills, he makes alive, okay? Not Satan. Satan's a worker for him, okay? So, and continuing, and an everlasting king. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble. And that's right. At his wrath. Not the wrath of fucking Quasimodo and all the rest of them. No. At his wrath. Okay? At his bequest. He wants to sink this bitch. That's what he's going to do. Okay? And he's going to sink this bitch with thermonuclear fire. And when I mean sink this bitch, I mean drown America in fucking thermonuclear fire, right? Because in Ecclesiastes, it tells you that the earth abided forever. All right? The earth is not going to vanish away. It's not going to be destroyed like these stupid idiots want you to believe. They don't have enough power to destroy this earth. All right? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has the power to destroy this earth if he will. So continuing. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble. And that's when the nukes are going off. All right? And the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation, his righteous anger. Okay? Because this is what the Lord is telling us to tell the world. Look, wrath is going to come upon you guys. Destruction is going to come upon you guys. If you don't get right with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, this is what's going to happen to you. Okay? This is what the real prophets are supposed to do. They're supposed to speak the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Ezekiel chapter 3 tells you that. Go speak with my words unto them. Not some made up shit. Okay? And we don't make up shit. We tell you straight what the fuck is going on. Because what? The Spirit of the Lord is working with our spirit, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. Let me actually, you know what? Let me start from 6. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, because the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. All right? He said the wisdom of this world is foolishness, man. Okay? It's not even wisdom. It's just foolishness. Slakia. And I'm cramping up. Bumbleclad. Shit, man. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princesses of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery. That's right. And that's why I said it's a shame on that guy, because he got the hidden mysteries about Yahweh, about Ba'ashim Yahushai, how the world was created, all these different things he got. He got all these different mysteries, right? And then he went back into the world. That's why the Lord is going to destroy your ass, man. You stupid fuck. You here it is. You got all these mysteries and these secrets that the rest of these people out here don't know. And you running around doing nothing. You got to pay what you vowed onto the Most High to get those, that in which how you got those secrets, man. And I didn't even want to talk to him, because I'm like, first of all, you're a waste. All right? You're a waste, man. All right? That's how we talk about when people don't provide for their family, they don't do nothing. They're a waste, man. So you're not out here providing for your family. You're not out here providing, you know, building up the hedge so Israel could stand in the day of that battle. So you're a waste, man. Okay? IUIC, you're a waste, man. That's why I'm going to start calling all these false prophets waste, man. See? But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory. So even before the world was made, the Lord already set this up. This is why we already tell you that the Lord already predestined certain men. Predestined them not to go off. predestined them to speak his words. Okay? Predestined them to salvation. All right? And Lord will that we be of that number. That's why that's our hopes, our highest dreams, aspirations, and desires, man. That's our hope. Okay? Is that Yahweh Shem Shai deliver us from this fucking wretched place, man. When that destruction cometh, man. You know? We pray that Yahweh Shem Shai deliver us from this damn place, man. Because when that destruction comes, you ain't gonna have nobody to run to but Yahweh Shem Shai. Simple and plain. Anyways, continuing. Which none of the princes of this world knew, for if they had known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard. This is exactly what I was just speaking, before. They got eyes to see and ears to hear, but they're not working. Okay? Hello, is the lights on up home? But as it is written, oh, Salakia, oops. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh have prepared for them that love him. But Yahweh have revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yahweh. Yeah. So the Lord has revealed these things unto our spirit, right? So that individual who came into the truth, the Lord revealed those things to him by his Spirit. So he gave a portion unto him. So like I said, what did he do? He took it up and he snuck in his jacket. He was that nigga that hid his talent in a napkin. You napkin ass niggas. That's what he was, and that's what he is, man. And that's why destruction is gonna fall upon him. And hey, you can't make this up. I was supposed to be out here yesterday. Supposed to come out around 6, 7 around there, and then it started fucking storming, going crazy. Then it started getting windy after, and it was windy before. I was waiting for it to die down just a little bit. And the Spirit was like, nah, you might as well go in your car. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go in my car. I want to go out to the highways. Last fucking week when I was sick, I was in my car. I did 2 sessions in my car because I was sick and the rain. No, I need to get on the highways and byways, man. And that's the passion that burns within us, man. Because I felt guilty. I felt like a fucking piece of shit. Because I know that, hey, here it is. I'm supposed to be out in the highways and byways preaching this word. But yet, I'm sick. I gotta go do it inside of a car and all this bullshit. Fuck that. Because we're dedicated to this, man. I felt like a fucking piece of shit, man. Quite honestly. And that's what the brothers feel inside too. If they can't make it out and they're sick on their bed and they're rolling around. Yeah, don't be over righteous, but at the same time, you feel like there's some energy in there for you to fucking get out there, And then even worse, last week, it had to be an indoor session, and then you had to go to your car or whatever the fuck. You feel guilty, you feel away, all right? And that's how you're supposed to feel when Yahweh Shem Shai is working with you, man. You're supposed to feel guilty. You're supposed to feel like a fucking ass, okay? When let's say you miss a camp session or something, or you miss doing videos, right? You're supposed to feel that. That's the Lord's Spirit within you. You're feeling, oh man, I'm supposed to be praising Yahweh Shem Shai. And here I am right now, on this dumb bullshit, whatever may happen, whatever is happening, right? So let's go into this real quick. A seer. Okay, that's who the Lord is working with. He's not working with the rest of these individuals out here. He's working with his seers, all right? Got a fucking problem? What the fuck you looking at? 1 Samuel chapter 9 and 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Yahweh, thus he spake, come, let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So, before time, the name changed up, whatever. When you go into the word a seer, that's the person that, a prophet and a seer, they're supposed to have vision. Visionary. Okay? They're supposed to have the vision. This is why the Lord said that they got ears and they can't hear, and they got eyes and they can't fucking see. They don't see what time we're in. Okay? And they definitely can't fucking hear what time we're in, because the presidents and all these people are passing certain draconian laws, right? And all these draconian laws, when you go into the scriptures and you analyze and you look at it, you say, oh shit, this guy's line. When you line these up, you see that, hey, this is going to the end of times, man. We're in the end of times, holy shit. That's what you should be saying in your head. But they need a prophet to go out there and teach them these words. Because if they don't, you know, they don't know. They can't just pick up the Bible, start reading and say, yeah, I know this. No, you don't. You don't know what words mean. You're like a 2-year-old kid, okay? You don't know nothing about the Bible. But yeah, you proclaim, oh, I love God, all this shit. Get the fuck out of here. You're a bunch of losers, man. Fucking losers is what you is. So let's go into something real quick. Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And 1 to 11. Bulk up that. Oh yeah, let's go into this real quick. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And this is the times that we're in right now. They don't know the times and seasons we're in. They like going to the bars, getting drunk. They like going to their soccer games or hockey games or whatever the fuck it is. They like the shit of this world, okay? That's why it falls on deaf ears. They don't even they could be 2 feet in front of us. They don't understand what the fuck we say. Because the Spirit of God is not with them, man. The Spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai is not with them. You know what's with them? That sleazy, white JC, that motherfucker's with them, okay? That Jesus Christ crap. That's not his name, okay? Let them have it. Let the so-called white man have it. That's for him to eat, okay? But us as Israelites, we ain't taking that shit. Because we know our Lord and Savior. He's a dark-skinned Negro. He's like us. So don't expect them and their wicked-ass pork-chop-eating pastors to know anything about what times we in. They don't know. What they know about, go grab the plate of pork. Let me put that up in there right now. Let me yam off some pork right now. Yeah. Let me yam off some pork. Oh, let me go to the Pope for a blessing. Molesting ass Pope. Good that nigga's dead. That poor soul. Yeah, that same guy is fucking preaching the word of Yahweh Shemi Shai wrong. That's why they don't know what times we in, okay? Go sit down and watch your fucking pork chop ass, man. Hey, you 2/3, you need to be destroyed, man. You need to be re-cleansed. You need to be cleansed, man. And the only thing that's gonna cleanse you is that thermal fucking nuclear fire, man. And that's good for your ass, man. You scunt. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Right, we're not in darkness, okay? We're in the light. Yahweh Shai is light. He made us lights, all right? So how can we be in darkness? At least we join hand in hand with him, right? At least we join hand in hand with the darkness and start doing corrupt things, right? Start corrupting the word of Yahweh Shemi Shai like the rest of them. Like Nate and those niggas. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Let us not sleep as others do. Meaning, we gotta watch. We're continuing. But let us watch and be sober. You gotta watch. Let us not sleep. Let us not be slumbering upon the bed, as they say. Let us not be slothful with the work of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Let us not be sluggards, okay? And this is things that you gotta pray for. Just because you reading, yeah. You know, you gotta add prayer in there. Read, study, listen to brothers' videos, you know what I mean? You gotta do these things. If you don't do these things, you're gonna be locked out, okay? Eventually, Yahweh Shemi Shai is gonna give you the boot, like, get out of here, man. I don't need you. You're one of them bad fish. I thought you were a good fish, but now I turn that belly up. Shit, I see a bunch of bites, this and that. You know, forget it. Fuck it. I don't need your ass. Therefore, let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the day. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith, and love, and helmet, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. For Yahweh have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And this is who we so diligently follow. Okay? That guy said he came into the truth and then he fucking left. You're slothful with the work of the Lord, man. You're a sluggard. Okay? You're a niggard in this, man. You're supposed to have the word and you're supposed to be sharp with it. You're supposed to be getting your sword. You know, you're doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. You're supposed to be getting your fucking blood wet, man. Okay? And you're not doing that. Or a whole bunch of hype and pipe, man. But for us, he's not appointed us wrath, Lord will. You know? Because what? We're following. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. As servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Alright? Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep in the spirit world or here, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort one another, comfort yourselves, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. Okay? So that's what we're supposed to be out here, on fire, putting up the videos, teaching, edifying. Yahweh Shai said, feed my lamb, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. Okay? This is what a man who is dedicating his life towards Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai would be doing. He'd be out here teaching. He wouldn't be sitting back or driving by and go, hey brother, I was a Hebrew Israelite. Get out of here, man. I don't want to hear your fucking story. I don't even want you around me. Because you're like a disease, man. And like, oh shit, what the brother Karataza had said in GMS Bahamas, he said, you know, basically you got mind your thoughts, and I made a video on that. Because once it comes into the mind as a seed, then you start to speak it, and then you start acting out, right? It comes into the mind as a thought, then you start to speak on it, and then you start acting out. So that's why I told that individual, I said, yo, get down the street, because you're not a man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You didn't dedicate your life to him. You came, you thought it was cool, you thought it was some gang culture, and you found out, you fucked around and found out, and then the Lord kicked your ass out. Took that spirit off you, man. This is why we pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Psalms chapter 51. Don't cast your Holy Spirit away from us. We need you, okay? Daily. And any motherfucker who don't believe that we need Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai daily in this society, you're crazy, okay? Something you're a little bit off, okay? So let's continue in. Yup. Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Is my camera still on? Okay, good. Ezekiel. This is what you're supposed to be doing as a prophet. Ezekiel, a real prophet. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring a sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if he seeth the sword cometh upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. When whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, like right now, we're blowing the alarm, okay? We're telling you that this place is going to be destroyed. Destruction is coming to this place, okay? Continuing. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Right, so all these individuals out here, we're giving you that warning. If you don't want to listen, that's your own blood on your own head. That's your own ass. We don't care. The Lord gave us a job to do. He didn't come out here and tell us to pick up a sword, pick up a gun, pick up a knife, and beat you up and shove this word down your throat. No, the Lord never told us to do that. He said, go ye out to the highways, byways, and speak this word, man. He'll do the fishing, all right? So continuing, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Right. So the brothers out here that heard this word got compelled through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and their faith was building and growing and growing and growing, learning and learning, went to a camp, went out, doesn't matter, learned the word and went out there and preached, man. Okay, they took warning. They took it seriously. They took the instructions, okay? Because that's what a man of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh tries to do anyways. When you hear this word, you're supposed to learn it, okay? Eat it, learn it, ingest it. You know, that becomes your life. You become renewed in the mind day by day. And then eventually you go out there and you start to speak. And you start doing the very same thing what your apostle elders or some, you know, brothers were doing before. It's like it's a cycle you can't get out. Once you enter into that circle, you remain in that circle. You continue to do. And we draw more into that circle and more and more. Those who the Lord is happy with and well pleased with. Those are the ones that are supposed to be drawn into the word. Okay?
So,
not these freaks of the world, man. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in them. Okay? Because they see us out here, okay? They see us speaking, right? But they're not taking warning. They're not taking heed. Okay? They're continuing their life. Just like that freak. She thinks she a man. She a blood clot woman. She thinks she a man. Anyways. Continuing. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Okay? Continue. Let me go back again. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet. So if you got a guy out here that knows the truth, knows the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he's doing the word, he's keeping back his sword from blood, like that individual, guess what? He's going to be destroyed. You once were a watchman. You once were a prophet. You once were assigned to a post, and you left your post. It's like watchtowers, okay? You got the watchtowers, and men are supposed to be in the watchtowers with the bow and arrows and whatnot, looking for the enemy constantly like this, looking down and shit, you know, looking at shit. And they blow the trumpet, they sound the alarm. So all the other watchmen and all the guardsmen and everybody, you know, gets a defense. Ready, you know, active, fully active, as they say, right? So continuing. So if that watchman don't blow the alarm, he's going to be killed. Okay, he's going to be destroyed. And all those that he should have been warning, their blood is going to be upon him. Verse 7, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, not these other nations, okay? Not Moab, not Elam, okay? Not Ham, none of them, okay? But to the house of Israel, okay? So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me, okay? And that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving them the warning that, hey, this place is going to be destroyed. The Lord is going to do away with this place. And if you don't get right, you're going to be destroyed with it. Okay, bottom line. Not a joke, all right? And we're sounding the alarm. We're blowing the fucking trumpet, all right? And if you don't want to adhere or listen, you're going to be destroyed too. What do we care, all right? Yeah, continuing. So let's go into those fake prophets. What the hell was that? I like it how it says in the NLT. Let me see if I can find this in the NLT real quick. Let's go into the NLT. You know, there used to be a time where we'd see these people and say, hey, you know you're an Israelite? By now you should know that you're a fucking Israelite, man. And hey, you don't want to stop, you want to listen? That's your own fucking business, man. I don't give a shit. Okay? We're sounding the alarm right here. We're telling you. Okay? But, you know, we're tired of you fucking 2/3 anyways, man. You don't want to listen? Fine, we don't care. We'll listen. The other brothers will listen. Those who are supposed to come in and do the work, they'll listen. Okay? But y'all will fuck around and find out. Simple and plain. Let's go to something real quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13. These people are false apostles. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah. These people, NLT, these people are false apostles. They're deceitful workers who disguise themselves as apostles of Hamashiach. That's so straight to the point, okay? Because you got people out here who are dressing in these garments, well, a lot of them are in t-shirt fringes, right? And they out there and they're dressing and they're pretending that they're prophets. They're pretending that they know the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They're pretending they know breakdowns. They pretend they know what's going to happen. All that's coming out their mouth is falsehood, lies, deceit, okay? They dress up as their prophets, but they're not, okay? They'll come out with the signs and all these stuff. They'll say, hey, you're Israelite. You know you're Israelite? You know, all that type of stuff. And they're just doing it for numbers, all right? They have nothing to do with Yahweh Shai Mashiach. In fact, Yahweh Shai said when he returns, he said, get away from me, you worker of iniquity. Okay? So continuing, but I am not surprised. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it's no wonder that his servants also disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. In the end, they will get punishments for their wicked deeds deserved. In the end, they will get the punishment their wicked deeds deserved. All right. So in the end, they're gonna get punished. Okay. This is why, this is why we're like, hey man, who gives a fuck, man? We do give a fuck, but what I say in the context of that is like, as James and Jambres withstood Moses, right? Soon enough, we're gonna see their folly before all men, just like as theirs was, shown to all men, right? And right now we're seeing that whole house crumble. We already see what happened to Sakari and the Genesis or whatever, okay? That's why the name change came, trying to cover up shit. Nice try, but we see it, sucker. Anyways, let's go back into the topic at hand. So I'm not surprised, we aren't surprised. We marvel not, okay? Matthew chapter 24 and 24. Let me see what the NLT. Love me some NLT, Let's see what the NLT says, False messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones, okay? But they're not. Because we know in Matthew, let me read it in KJV. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So you're not going to deceive the elect, man. But the elect is in the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And none of your deception is going to work, okay? Just like that fucking false prophet right there. That guy that rolled up. I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, okay, all right. So anyways, let's go back into the false prophets. They can't discern the times. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. And the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, Salakia, when it is even, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but he cannot discern the signs of the times? That's exactly it. O ye hypocrites, you false fucking prophets, man. You can't discern the times, man. Because the Lord is not working with you. Okay? You don't even know what time you're in. Even with a watch on your hand, you still can't tell the time. That's horrible. That's how we know that the Lord is not working with you individuals, man. You're supposed to be able to tell these people exactly what time frame we in right now. All right? You look in the news, you hear the news broadcast. Very important thing, brothers' videos, because brothers stay looking for those topics, right? Because we stay in the book and we stay looking. Watch and be sober. Keep your eyes open. Peer, look, scopeo. Scopeo, scopeo, scopeo. This is what we're doing. We're looking. We're diligently looking and observing. Okay? Like a cop, a detective, on a crime scene, diligently looking over everything, looking under mats, everything. Did you get fingerprints here? Did you get fingerprints there? Because that's part of the being diligent. Okay? What's wrong with this guy? wants to be an asshole. The bus driver too wants to be an asshole, yo. It ain't gonna end well. Use discernity. A wicked in verse 4. I love this one. Actually, wait, hold up. Let me see something real quick. Let me go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 5 and 8 or something like that. Or no, 5 and 18. Let me see what that says there. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords and vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope. No, that's not what I wanted. Well, that's in there. But anyways, let's go back to something real quick. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. And what are we doing right now? What Jonah was doing, prophesying. Okay, so that's the only sign that you're going to get. All right? Which, hey, if you had understanding, then you would know. How could it be that these prophets disappear and then they reappear? And then this message comes back up again, right? And when this message comes back up again, hey, you best believe and know that we in those times. Jeremiah chapter 28 and 8 tells you that the Lord will send a prophet before destroying a place, man. Before judging that place, before the pestilence comes upon that place. All right? So that sign, if you have understanding, you would know. Oh shit, prophets out there prophesying? Oh no, that means that the end of the world or destruction or something bad is about to happen. All right? But as he said, you could discern the sky and all this stuff, but you can't discern the times that we in. Madness. Then the year of false prophet. Then the Lord's not working with you. Okay? Let's go to John chapter 3. Was this Nicodemus? Yeah, it was Nicodemus. I love this one, yo. Every time I read this, I have to laugh. That and go cry unto the gods which ye have so earnestly, desired to run after and all things. In Judges chapter 13, 10 or 10 and 13, somewhere around there. It's a beautiful scripture, man. It's so exact, Why are you gonna run to Yahweh now? In their afflictions, they will seek me early. Why are you gonna run now? You should have been running. We're running this with patience, all right? We're running it with patience, okay? And when we're afflicted, we seek Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But guess what? We've been seeking him. Y'all get a sting and you're like, whoo, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Yahweh B'Shem. We go through our situations. We handle it with ease. Many times we'll go through a situation and say, hey, man, I ain't even praying right now. I'm just going to go through this. Let's see how the Lord made me to see this today. Rose me up today to see this, man. So let's go into this real quick. John chapter 3 and 12. If I have told you earthly things, okay? If I've told you earthly things about a cow, things about a house, plumbing, you know what I mean? Things pertaining to this life, all right? And ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things, right? So, we telling these individuals about things to come, but they can't even get the plain understanding of, they don't even believe starting. But when we tell you plain understanding of things that, in this life here, it can be found in the scriptures, and this is how you should deal with it, and this is how you should deal with it, and this is how it is, right? You don't even believe us, okay? So how the hell, when we tell you about heavenly things, how about B'Shem Yahushai returning and all this, and the chariots, and the nukes, and the MOTB, and the time, and the trying, and the testing, and Jacob's trouble, how the hell you gonna believe us, okay? You won't. You just look at us like we're crazy, like, the fuck? But we press toward the calling, all right? The false prophets, they went back into the world because this stuff got too heavy onto them. Just like it tells you, Sirach, it tells you in Sirach, chapter 6, that he will leave her ere it be long. Okay, he'll put her off, he'll toss her away. If these prophecies don't come by the time he expects or what he's thinking in his mind, then he tosses it away and go into some other doctrine. Okay? That's how niggas is, man. You can't trust niggas. Philippians chapter 3 and 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Hamashiach. Okay, we press toward the mark, man. That's why we, bones fucking hurting, sitting down, doing these doing these lessons. You know what I mean? That's pressing toward the mark. That's diligently looking for salvation. All right. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded, and if in anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal this even unto you. Nevertheless, we have already obtained. Let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example. For many whom I have told you often, and now tell you, even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach. Yeah, you're supposed to take on these burdens. As much as Hamashiach suffered in the flesh, arm yourself likewise. This guy threw it away. He said, I'm ashamed of the doctrine. I don't need to suffer like that. To hell with this. You know what? I'm out of here. I'm going back into the world where it's nice and peaceful and comfortable, where I'm set on my leave. You know? Whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. And that's why he went back into the world, because he was minding earthly things. He didn't give a shit about Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He said it's too harsh. He said it's too strenuous. Okay? What profit is it that I have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? That's what he's saying in his heart of heart. Okay? And that's why he left. So continuing, let me get the last scripture here. Let's go to Matthew. Matthew, this is why a lot of individuals leave the truth, because it becomes too difficult for them. It becomes a burden onto them, okay? That's why they leave the truth. They get disenchanted, okay? That happens to a lot of men that come into this truth, because they're not seeing these things happening right away, right now, right? They're not seeing them happening right away, so they say, fuck this. It says the fallen way of the father, since the fathers fell asleep, where's the promise of his coming? This is their mindset, because they're the same niggas coming back and saying the same shit, okay? That's why the spirits of the prophets, because the prophets come back and they do the same thing. They're in the same stead. The Lord has chosen them from before the foundation of the world, right? Oh, let me check my cam. Oh, we good. I gotta get a new camera, man. I gotta get a new fucking camera, man. Anyways, Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Right? And we're happy that we have found this way. Okay, it's not the broad way of the world. It's as fire on one side and deep water on the next, okay? That's exactly what it is. Fire on one side and deep water on the next, all right? Yeah, you old bitch. We back. Fucking clown. Because that guy there, he was very old. You could see. He's probably like next to 100 years old. That's why I call him an old bitch. Because in the 1920s, 30s and shit, you know what they were doing to us. And now he's like, oh shit, oh shit. They know who they are. They know themselves. Yeah, you old fucking beat bitch. I hope the Lord preserve you. to the day of destruction, man. Anyways, so broad is the way that leads to destruction. That's this world, all right? That's the ways of this world. But the straight gate, these are the commandments of the Lord. This is the way that leadeth unto life and don't lead you onto destruction, okay? Here's the point. Beware of false prophets, okay? These false prophets will not tell you or lead you in this direction, because false prophets, what they want money. They have nothing to do with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is why Yahweh Shem Yahushai, when he returns, is to say, get away from me, you workers of iniquity. You have nothing to do with me. You were supposed to be doing this work unto me, but guess what? You wanted to make money. You wanted to make a franchise out of my word. You wanted to make a merchandise out of my Father's word. But these ones over here have not. You, on the other hand, you have. You're a false prophet. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. The IUIC, and they're, let's put on some purple garment and this and that and the t-shirt fringes. Yeah, that's these niggas, man. Ravenous wolves, man. You can't trust them. All right? They put on sheep's clothing, right? They put on that look. Oh yeah, I'm an Israelite. Yeah. Yeah, you really a fucking wolf, man. Continuing, ye shall know them by their fruits. Okay? Oh, yeah. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistle? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth corrupt evil fruit. Yeah, and their message that they're bringing forth out of their camps, it's not tying up, man. It's not right. Okay? It's not righteous. Okay? But hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to judge them, man. They're going to get destroyed. This is why the scripture tells, be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, but inquire how and when the righteous shall be saved, man. Who the world is and for to come, right? Roughly phrasing. And that's where our mind is in tunnel vision. We don't care about these false prophets. They're going to be destroyed. Okay? The Lord don't want them. All right? So continuing, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. And that's exactly what's going to happen to these false prophets. That's what's going to happen to 2/3 of our people. Okay? They're going to be tossed into that fire. You join hand in hand with this man. So you deserve what you're going to get with this man. Okay? Did you join hand in hand with Yahweh Shem Yahushai? No. You join hand in hand with the world. We didn't join hand in hand with the world. We joined hand in hand with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? So therefore salvation is for us. We put off. Okay? We put off this world. We don't care what this world has to offer. We put off the world, man. Okay? But you guys did not put off the world. You guys kept the world in a pocket. Just in case. You know? Contingency plans. That's exactly what was in you motherfuckers' minds, man. Okay, and we can see it. You don't really believe. You don't have faith. Hey, may Yahweh Shem Yahushai get rid of you, man. And all those people in your congregation, if there's some sincere motherfuckers around them, let them be drawn out. Okay? Let them be drawn out and come to the real truth, man. Not that phony, baloney bullshit that y'all be speaking out there. Okay? We're continuing verse 19, last scripture. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Okay? And everything that we're teaching and everything that we're doing, look, you can't put no blame on us. You can't say shit about us, man. Okay? Because in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we ain't doing no wrong. Okay? We doing exactly what he said to do. Does a man slip? Yeah, a man may slip, right? But is he intentionally doing that? Is he intentionally saying, yeah, let me go commit sin, or let me go do some sinful shit, right? Or let's teach the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai off. No, he's not doing that, okay? People are mad out their mind, eh? Mad. I tell you, say some people are mad. That's why the Lord is striking this place with madness, man. Look. Somebody come see this. Somebody come look at this. Somebody come see this. God damn. Girl look like she on some bomb clock cracker jacks, man. But that's why this place has got to go, man. Matthew chapter 24 tells you that no flesh, unless the Lord return real quick, no flesh shall be saved, man. Okay? So, hey, with that, I'll go close our camp right now. Oh. So, like I said, the false prophets can't tell time. The real prophets can tell time, all right? We in the 10 toes. That's the time that we in. Destruction about to take place, man. So with that, hey, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahman. Double honors to the apostle elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and push this word in sensitivity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified. Lord willing, to the next time. Wa abad babal. Shalom, Akim. Shalom, shalom, shalom.